Yo, what's going on? You are now tuned in to the Inside Wolves podcast, your home for entertainment, enlightenment, where we discuss and give our takes on what's going on in not only music, entertainment, general news, and everything pop culture. Make sure you subscribe,
What's going
share.
on? What's going on? What's going on? Everybody out there, beautiful people. If you hear us stepping, I said if you hear us stepping, this is the Inside Wolves podcast. You know what I'm saying? Hosted by yours truly, the Inside Wolves Entertainment crew. I'm your boy Hefe. What's going on? Let my guests introduce themselves. Start with my man Rome.
Big Rome, blessed and highly favored. Glad to be here with the Inside Wolves podcast. Y'all see what it is, man. Great guests, great vibes. Y'all see it, dog. Let's get it.
Glad to have you.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Q, we back at it once again. Thankful for another time and another opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Y'all already know how we coming, man. It's your boy Juju, aka AJ, aka Juan. You know what I'm saying? Back for another installment of the Inside Wolves podcast. Let's go ahead and swing this on to our
Yes,
guest.
sir. Yes,
Go ahead,
sir. And look,
give yourself.
I know y'all was looking. I was like, hold up. Who's that unfamiliar face down there at the bottom? Don't worry, I'm gonna let y'all know who this man is. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all, we want to welcome a DMV native to the cut today. You know what I'm saying? He's the current author. Of Z Bro. Once again, that's Z Bro. If you watching, you can see it in the back right there. My man got it strapped up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And that's out for purchase right now on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. Downloadable. Oh shit! Hold up. Wait a minute. Damn. Hold up. Damn. Hold up. Yo, my man came through setting the blaze. Oh, yo. Hey, feel me? Yeah, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Yes, sir. He's also the owner of Cruddy World LLC. You know what I'm saying? It's an arts and entertainment management consulting company. If y'all need something, you know what I'm saying? If y'all need something, y'all hit that man up.
I don't know who that up, man.
I introduce my man, Mr. Moe Foe. What's going on, shorty?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
How you feeling today, man? How you feeling?
Glad to have you here, man.
Thank
He feeling good. He feeling good.
Oh yeah,
Really good.
Appreciate it. Glad to be a part of the show.
Yes, sir, man.
I appreciate you coming through tonight.
And man, we definitely gonna have a good time, man. We got a couple things to ask you. We're gonna get to know a little bit about you, vibe, y'all know about us and everything. We just gonna, we're gonna set it ablaze, man. I'm gonna let my man Q start it off today, man. What?
And what we gonna do to start it all off, we gonna take it all the way back before everything, back before the writing, back before it all. So let's start off with a young Moe Foe. Feel me? How upbringing? What was that like for yourself? How was that growing up for you?
All right, the Moe Foe. That's my nickname, and I had it since I was a teenager. Born in Washington, D.C., raised in Washington, D.C., lived in PG County for a little bit, but still reside in the city right now. I had a different upbringing than most of my homeboys. Like, I had my mother and my father. Like, most of my homeboys, they either didn't have their father, wasn't around, their mother was on drugs, they probably lived with their grandparents. So I had it a little bit better than my folks, but at the end of the day, I still lived in the hood. And, just a youngin' coming up in the hood, most youngins want to have something. And most turn to the streets because, the 9 to 5 don't pay as fast as standing on the corner. Like, you can see people make money all day right there on the corner, and the streets is alluring. So I got into the streets at a young age, about 15, 16, hustling weed, stuff like that. Moved up to crack, cocaine, stuff like that. Yeah, and got in some trouble, ended up going to prison at the age of 24, didn't come home till I was 6 months before my 30th birthday on a cocaine charge. Yeah, so spent most of my 20s in prison and came home, had like struggles keeping a job, had wild ass PO that was always on my back. So it was like I was out for about 5 years, ended up going back in on a violation 2016 or whatever. I ended up doing like 10 months on a bullshit violation. And during that time, that's when I wrote the book, just fucking around bullshitting. And, during the pandemic, that's when I wrote it up, edited and stuff like that, shopped it around and self-published, ended up self-publishing the book. And, here we are right now.
I feel that, man.
Okay, that's it. Wow, that's quite
Interesting story, man.
I was gonna say it's quite a story in itself
Yeah.
right there. So taking it back, and like you just said, in the last time you were there, you figured out, you went ahead and wrote the book yourself. And so then I want to take it back to childhood. Was there any kind of like before the writing kind of interest in writing that you had at all? Was that anything that going on like that? How did that come into play for yourself then?
Nah, I was a hustler. Like that's what I
Okay.
do. That's
Motherfucker,
like
that.
Mhm.
He
I
said,
slang drugs. Like that's what I do.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not
Yeah.
throwing
Right,
myself
writing was the
hustle,
furthest thing from your
making
mind.
it hot,
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
myself hot or nothing. Because you know what I'm saying. You look it up. I'm a convicted drug dealer, so I'm just speaking on what I've been through. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not making it hot, not glorifying it either. But now I never definitely didn't see myself writing or doing music or anything talking about what I've been through or whatever because I've been through some real shit and a lot of stuff you just don't speak about. You just leave it where it's at. But
Yeah.
this novel actually is not about my life or not about myself. It's a character I came up with that plans on being a reoccurring character in future books to come. He's like my with Alex Cross. With Alex Cross is the James Patterson. That's what Zebra is to me.
okay, I
So,
see.
I got you.
I get exactly what you're saying when you.
I got you. I got you.
Okay.
That's tough, y'all.
That
And
is.
man, and now it's crazy because you know what I'm saying. A lot of people like I like that you ain't try to be like writing that shit was always me. You know what I'm saying. I was in pen and paper in middle school. I was writing raps, poetry, all that type of shit. 'Cause a lot of niggas will say that shit. You know what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, the fact that because sometimes that's really all it takes is you when God sits you down and be like, yeah, you ain't got shit else to do. You know what I'm
Put you in
saying?
the right situation.
Here go this, here go that, make something of it. You know what I'm saying? And that, you know what I'm saying? They always say pressure
yeah.
make diamonds. You know what I'm saying? When you under that pressure and you locked up and you don't know what to do, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of other routes that you could have, that niggas could have went. A lot of other shit that niggas could have done. So the fact that you sat there and you was like, man, let me make something good of it. So when I get out, you know what I'm saying? I got something to put my back on, you know what I'm saying? That's tough. That's real shit. A lot of niggas don't get to that point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just even making something of yourself, you know what I'm saying? Knowing, you know what I'm saying, you convicted felon. That's a road, even when niggas get out from doing that jam, that's a road that people gotta walk down in. Niggas don't know what they want to do. Just like you said, you had trouble securing a job, and that's the thing a lot of people still have to deal with, just because you free from them bars, it's still another journey, a whole nother process that you
No
gotta go.
question.
You carrying a big ass bag on your back. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah.
big target on
Yeah.
your back that you gotta carry with you. And I just want to say salute to you, man, for figuring that shit out. 'Cause like I said, a lot of people they just get stuck and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
shit go back to what they was doing. That got them locked up in the first place. But like I said, salute to you for figuring out another way, man.
Man, it's one day at a time, brother. You hear me?
Yeah.
It's one
One
day at
day,
a time.
one day at a time. And
Yeah, I
I'll
do got
say,
one question, man.
go
You
ahead.
started off the show by saying you mentioned your parents and all that in relation to your upbringing and your surroundings and all that. So how do you think that having that experience different from your peers helped you develop? Like, how do you think that helped you develop in your early years?
Um, they always taught me to think, and they were really in the church, so I was always
Okay. I was gonna ask that.
just different. Like I pray a lot, and I encourage my homies and my homegirls and people like that to pray as well. And you know, it was like different. Like, cause some people, like I said, they didn't have a mother and father who cared about them or
Right.
who wasn't strung out on drugs or whatever. So to have that type of structure definitely went a long way. And I know it took years and years for me to actually do something that made them happy, which is this book. But I finally got there, fucking up, doing drugs, playing with guns, going in and out of prison. That wasn't nothing. That wasn't how they raised me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the streets is the streets, and the game is the game, and it comes with it. So, but
I'm
I'm
just saying when you in the
That's a
jungle,
great
you know what I'm
story. That's a
saying? It's
great
kill or be
story.
killed.
yeah,
That's a great story because I mean, just looking back on that impact could have helped you save your life. Just thinking kids that didn't have that experience, they might have the mindset to go back to the game. They might have the mindset to go back to what they was doing before. So that foundation might have helped you to see another way, i.e. this book, i.e. the blessings, you know what I'm saying? So that's something to be appreciated, I think.
Yeah, no question.
For sure. And I would say a personal experience. I just know. So I tried to help. I tried to help a friend of mine who had just got out of doing a little bit of time get a job. So I was driving him to interviews, and boy, ain't nobody was trying to hire him. And I'm talking about like the simplest of places. It was really like eye opening because how much damage that can really do to your record. It's immense. Like it's crazy how much damage that mark on your record can really get you. So again, like they were talking about the resilience. Shout out to you for having that. And would you say that was more of a you thing, or was that instilled from your parents, or a combination of the two?
I say a combination of the two because I just won't give up on myself. Like when I was going through prison and I lost all my appeals or whatever, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna just be here for some years. I had to suck it up and do that time. It was just, I'm here. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't say that prison made me better, but it definitely was an eye opener. Like I'm definitely way more calm, way more laid back and chill than I ever was before I went. But that's because I want to be, not because prison made me want. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to want to change myself. Like it's people that go in and out of prison to just live their life because that's what they do. Like they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Until they actually want to change for themselves, then they can go to prison for 1,000,000 years and they still ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's real. A lot of niggas, yo, they look at that time. So I know it's a lot of niggas, yo. No matter how hard you is, you know what I'm saying, as a person, it's a lot of niggas. When that gavel hit that, you know what I'm saying, that joint, and they talk about you got 5, we sentence you to 5, 10, or whatever. It's like like ain't just being human. There's a part in you that sink to your bottom of your stomach, like fuck. Like, I gotta do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta do this bit. And I was gonna say, man, it's just like, do you ever like just? I know you said it should made you a better person and everything, but like it gotta have been a time, or it's still a time that you look back and be like, yo, fuck, yo, like I wish I would have made that one. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have made that one move and didn't make that one phone call. Whatever to get put in that box. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
He's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was fucking with a confidential informant. He put the police on me, and that's how I went down. And it was signs there that I should have stopped fucking with him, but I'm like 23, 24. I'm getting some money. Like, my folk, like I said, we had it better off than other people, but we didn't have no money. Like, we couldn't afford stuff. So I'm 23, 24, getting some money. The people that's telling me, man, stop fucking with Slim. I'm looking at them like they hating shit, like, oh, they ain't fucking with him because he ain't putting them on. Whole time Slim hot. Slim put them peoples on, whatever. That shit came out when I was going to court. He was a confidential informant.
Damn.
That shit gotta be.
Yeah, bro, that shit gotta hurt.
Because real shit.
I mean, he wasn't like family or nothing, but it was
but still, like
it's just
some old movie type shit. Like, where the fuck that happened at? Like,
exactly
getting it from working with them.
That shit happens. It happens in real life, bro.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Informants, that shit is real life, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it gotta come from. He put it in the movie because it come from somewhere. You know what I mean?
You might think movies be exaggerating that shit, but nah, bro. That shit really, niggas really be like in disguise on y'all.
Yeah.
All these experiences you had in these situations you've been in, do you say that you pull from some of these to like as inspiration when you write like, these stories for your character?
I say like I don't base none of my stories on it, but it does come from a place of realness. Like I can actually write about selling drugs and prison and guns and stuff like that because I actually been through that stuff. And what's crazy is in my genre of books, the leading person is black females. Like urban novels, black females controlled, but it's like majority of them have never ever done any of the stuff they're talking about. They're either speaking from what their brother told them or their uncle, and in no slight to black women at all. I love all my black women, but I'm saying I'm entering a genre that's not normally for black males. Like black males just don't talk about it. Like they don't, because a lot of them actually really been through it, unless they're writing an actual biography, just telling tales and building stories and making you think and like who done it and what for type stories. Like black males don't normally do it. It's usually black females. So I think me stepping into the genre and bringing a sense of realness and not saying like no slight to black women. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like no slight to black women. Like,
of course.
but me just coming in with a sense of realness, I think that brings a different aspect to the game. Like it's a little bit more believable. Like that's what they say about the book.
Right.
It's not no over exaggerated super thug king of the East Coast. Like he's just
a black to the reality of it.
He's just a regular hustler. He's just a
Uncut.
regular hustler in his neighborhood, and he's going through the city, making his moves, doing what he doing. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's just a story most people that know people in the streets can relate to. Like that super thug, big kingpin thing, that's like unrealistic movie stuff. So a lot of people got away from it because it's not realistic.
Right.
So I would write books that's realistic and relatable to people that even haven't actually been there, but know, okay, Lil Ray up the street, he used to do something like that back in the day too. You know what I'm saying? Stories like that.
I feel you. Let me ask you this, y'all. Let me ask you this. When you was you ever had a hobby as a kid? Anything that you just did, like fucking around, like, hey, it could have been serious.
I used to draw. I used to be in the sports one time, but like I said, once I got to 15, 16, 14, what if it wasn't making no paper, I wasn't really interested into it. Like I was fine. I hit my growth spurt like 16. It was 5'9" and never grew any taller. So it was like basketball's out. I was decent at football, but I didn't love it. So it's like I don't want to do that for the rest of my life, even no matter how good I'm at it. That's not what I want to do. So it was just like, yeah, hustle, like the Jay-Z song, like hustling's really
funny as shit.
Alluring. Like
I was just about to say, like, cause nigga, that's literally what Dre. That's literally like what Jay was like. You know what I'm saying? Jay was that. You ask anybody about Jay, they were like, yeah, like he had the talents and all that shit, but he loved the money more than anything else. So he was getting the money. He said, "Fuck rap, I'm going back to the streets." You know what I'm saying? But I was gonna ask you as well too, like, as far as reading is concerned, is that something that you ever like you just love to read books back in the day? Is that something that you just picked up like in prison, or is it something that you just picked up just in general?
Yeah, definitely. When I picked that up in prison. Like I read over 100 books, and majority of it was James Patterson. Like I fell in love with his books because his range is wide. Like I'm not sure if y'all familiar with his books, but he can talk about a detective in Washington D.C. and then talk about something medieval times, and then like he could just his genre is so broad and it always makes you think, and it's not corny. So it was like I really got into books with him, Stuart Woods, definitely Donald Goines. Love his books. Like book. I really got into books in prison. Like I wasn't never really reading before then. I mean, unless it was school, and I just kept picking up books here and there once I got released. But I don't read them as much, but every now and then I do pick up books.
Just to keep it sharp.
Nah, for real, because I mean, Nipsey, rest in peace to Nipsey, man. But Nip said one time, man, he was like, pretty much along the lines, it's just like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? The smartest thing he ever did was pick up a book. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm not saying here, like in school, they want you to read what they want you to read. They teach you about their history. You know what I'm saying? But when you pick up a book or something that you really interested in, let's say you interested in Islamic teachings, you know what I'm saying? You're interested in that. And you pick up a book and you start to find yourself what's inside that book. And now you become knowledgeable, you become wise and shit like that. Instead of, oh, I just know about the Civil War because I've read about that. You know what I'm saying? That's not really knowledgeable. That's just knowing facts. You know what I'm saying? So when you're able to really pick up a book, and then to the point where like you can see because you wrote a book, so you're able to pick up a book and say, damn, like this is something that really makes me think. Now let me go ahead and turn that and make other people think. Nigga, that's salute, yo. That's hard. That's
Appreciate
hard
it.
as shit.
I wanted to ask you, when like did writing kind of just click for you? At what point was writing where you were just like, oh yeah, I like this shit. Okay, hang on, let me go ahead
When
and see if I can just keep doing this.
okay, when I was editing during the pandemic, like I just kept reading it and going over it, and it was like it's not that bad. Like I think I could have edited way better. I know this is my first book, so it was definitely a learning process. Everything's a learning process, so I know what to do on the next go round. But
Always got to get the first one out. That's it.
yeah,
Get the
that's
ball rolling.
that's what it's all about. Just laying the foundation, and then you keep building from there. And that's definitely what this book is about. It's like it's the first book in a full book series. So just to like you said, get the first one out there was the hardest thing.
It always is. It always is.
Now it's out there. It's like I'm on to the second one. I'm working on that one,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
soon to be working on the third and the fourth one. So yeah.
And just moving right on along
Right.
with it. That's what's up.
Just
Moving right on
just to talk about like a situation you said, you know, when it comes to having the CI, you know what I'm saying, was finding out the one that was that gave you up, you know, just to give a personal experience. I mean, prison and jail, obviously, if you know, two completely different things, but just giving a personal experience of my own, you know, being in a situation where, you know, you you make a play with somebody with, just like you said, this he wasn't family or anything, but just somebody you making bread with at the time, you know, just like I said. So for me, just going on and making a play with somebody who you thought y'all was both in it, you know, for the same thing at the same time, it's like just to find out, like, you know, you getting snatched up out of school, you know, you getting snatched up out of class in the middle of class, and then to find out, you know, the person who gave you up is the same person that you went on that play with. So I just want to know, like, for me, you know, it was it was a learning process when it came to getting jammed up, as far as like reading people I had surrounding me and stuff like that. And I just want to know, for you personally, like, how did it go once you found out, you know, what happened and why you got locked up in a situation? And how did you bring that into prison, as far as like reading people?
Um, well, I'm just me being me by nature. I'm an introvert, and I stay to myself. I'm a loner. I'm laid back. I don't really like people. So in prison, I was the same way. I always been in the fitness when even when I stopped playing sports. So I really didn't have a problem staying away from people in prison or whatever. And I got never really had trust for people anyway, just being in the streets. Like, I think it was like more of a shock when it came, because it was like, damn, I'm making you, like, you getting bread off me. Like, we
Yeah.
get, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we getting money. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Slim, like, it threw me off. It was just like, I couldn't believe it. But it was like all the warning signs was there. So if anything, it definitely told me don't be greedy. Like,
Yeah.
I could have. It was warning signs to stop or chill or lay back or not get as much stuff or just do different stuff. But I basically had to change my circle and surround myself later on with people I could trust. So when they did tell me, "Look, you lunching, you doing stuff like that," I believe them instead of thinking they were hating. Like,
Yeah.
back then, it was like, "Oh, they ain't getting no money. They just saying that because they ain't getting no money." When whole time they're trying to,
Really trying to
you
put
know,
you up.
Help me.
ignore me. So it's like,
Yeah.
heed the warning signs. Like, it be warning signs. And me, like I say, I came up in the church. I believe in God. God sends warning signs, but me being hard headed, sometimes I didn't want to pay attention to him, and then boom, upside the head is right there. Like, damn, you had the warning sign, you just didn't pay attention to this shit. So it definitely made me reevaluate who I be around, stay focused, and like pay attention to warning signs.
Can't second guess yourself, especially when you see those kinds of things. Especially
Yeah.
when you see those kinds of things. And that's something that just us as human beings, we all have that error just in our system where we kind of just overlook by choice more times than not a lot of these red flags, and not just in situations like yours, but just everyday situations. You know something's not good for you. You see this, but you're just yeah, and that's on you, or maybe you try to rationalize it, like, oh nah, it's not something like you were just saying. Maybe no, they just hating. That's what it's got to be. It can't be what they're saying. It's because of whatever reason for your own being.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Listen, let me ask you this question, yeah. I'm saying, man, you can get as much as you want, as little as you want, whatever. What's prison like, yo? You know what I'm saying? Niggas got in there, and niggas try to get you for the top bunk, like niggas hit you up, like yo,
They left
what's that shit like,
The
yo?
Snickers on your
I
pillow,
got.
man.
I'm about to say, yeah, come on, yo.
It was none of that shit. It was, I mean, prison ain't too much different from the streets. You know what I'm saying? You just use your hands and you got knives instead of guns. And
Yeah,
I mean, the police is never on your side, so they definitely ain't
Never.
even save you in there. They'll let you get fucked up, stabbed up, beat up, and take you to an infirmary. Like, you gotta be on man time, just like you supposed to be on man time without the gun on the streets. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be on man, and a lot of people end up. It's just wild, like prison wild.
nah, I
But
feel
it's
you.
like it's still like the streets though. Like, you mind your business, you stay to yourself, you do your time, and you go to fuck home. Like, people that's always in other people's business, owing people, doing favors, gang shit, definitely gang shit. Like,
Yeah,
the
of
people,
course.
like, for the youngins that don't know, like, if you a part of something, and that's not really prevalent in DC, but I know if you go to Maryland prison system or Virginia or surrounding
Yup.
or federal, it's gangs all around it. It's just not really here in DC. But if they go to the systems, it's gangs. So it's like their affiliation might get them in some shit that gonna run their time up, and they only had a couple years. Now they there for another 10 because they had to stab somebody because the big homie told them to, and they can't tell the big homie they can't, or they'll
Yeah.
get sanctioned, and it's just like it's no different on the streets, but it's just like it's 24/7. It's like, no,
yeah.
all right, I'm gonna go in the house and chill and I see all, nah, that shit's
Mm-hmm.
24/7. Like, it's always going on. It's always something. It's always noise. It's always some bullshit. So it's like, yeah, kids, stay away from drugs. Stay away from the
Right,
streets.
right, right,
Like, no
right,
bullshit.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Stay
It's
away from
definitely not
drugs.
cool. Like, jail's definitely not cool. It's not the place to be. Like,
Yeah,
that's not where it's at. Like, that don't make you no gangster. That don't make you tough. Like, there's
I
very
definitely.
few
Yeah,
people in the streets that don't end up dead or do some type of time in jail. Like, that's facts. That's not just me saying something. Like, that's realistic. Like, if you're in the streets, majority of people end up dead or do some type of time in prison. There's
yup.
very few people that just make their money and
Yeah.
ride off into the wind. You know what I'm saying?
There's very few statements that you can generalize and people wouldn't be like you wouldn't upset some people, and that's one of them. That if you do something street related, those are more than likely the two outcomes you're going to come across. It's
Yeah.
not really like an opinion about that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
factual.
it's like
Like
fact.
that's
Like,
going to happen.
you
If
turn
you
on the
do this
TV,
long
watch
enough,
news,
Mm-hmm.
it just
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
And that's man, and it's just it's some shit too because you grow up and you grow up in a city like that. It's like even if you're not directly in it, you're not directly doing it. You still got your closest niggas. You know what I'm saying? The closest people to you that you care about. You go to like you in school, you go to school, see them every single day, and then like yo, I don't know if y'all felt like this, man, but like for me, just because sometimes I'll be thinking like that, yo, like when we graduated, I just kind of was like, damn, yo. I was like, I know it's gonna be a lot of people that I'm about to be missing out on, like because I know it's a lot of niggas that after the high school, like this is the shit that keep them from dying because they in school for 8 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? Now you got 8 hours a day to really do what you're doing outside of school. It's gonna be a lot of niggas dead and gone, and just as I predicted,
Mm-hmm.
2 3 years later, I'm hearing this and that person died, this and that person died. Like what? Like That's just some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how I
That's
be.
exactly how that shit went in Atlanta for us, man. Like right after graduation, it seemed like it was a candlelight every other week. You know what I'm saying? For niggas that we all knew the type of risk we was taking back then, but then it's kind of like surreal and different, like just to see it like actually happen, knowing the risk. You know what I'm saying that you taking. You know, 9 times out of 10, like the worst case scenario is just jail, but like seeing a nigga you really grew up with, like you know what I'm saying, even if y'all was on some young boy shit, just like hooping, doing young nigga shit before all the other shit, it's like just to see them dead, you know, and see like actual candlelights up, like I said, every other week. You know, it's just like a different type of feeling, knowing all of it. It could have been avoided, you know, at an earlier stage before things got worse. You know, it's just the kind of situation that
Yeah,
you're faced
no
with.
question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Just to take things back to your writing and stuff like that. A question I had for you, man. Hearing about your faith, your experiences, things of that nature. Um, Wanted to know if you had like a message or things you wanted to get across in your writing, or if it's just more of like a thing you use as an outlet to get your thoughts and put that canvas on the paper type of deal. Just whether that be preaching another route to to people that may read it or just anything. Just what do you think about that?
Um, well, it's definitely like an outlet. Like I do use it as therapy now. I wouldn't say this book or my writings right now have an exact message. I think the theme of this book is a guy who's like fed up with the streets. He hasn't made enough money, but he's made enough to move on, and he's ready to get out the game. And I think just the struggles of any hustler or any person that runs the streets or things of that nature, getting out the game and doing something different, that's a real struggle because it's like, okay, I can have a pile of money, but if I ain't done nothing my whole life but hustle, what I'm gonna do? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about they got the pride, too much pride to go actually get a job. So they want to have an LLC, and then it's like, okay, but you still have no skills or no trade,
Right.
so what do you do? So I think the game gets to some people, and my writing's like the outlet for. I guess like I don't want to say I want to be the voice or something like that, but I know I aspire to a lot of people I know that do poetry or like write raps
I
around.
don't say that. Say that. You the voice.
Yeah, so,
Say
yeah.
that. Yeah, you the voice.
Like
Yeah.
now they want to
Purpose,
do
man.
it, and now they want to figure out how to go about doing it and stuff of that people, you know what I'm saying, were like, you never think they wrote or were into
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, but it's like, okay, well, he did a book. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ashamed to come out and,
Yeah, I got the
you know,
confidence now to do
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
what I've been, what I
I
got a
don't think
passion for.
I don't think I set out to do something like that, but I think it's dope that me doing a book is bringing people to like chase their dreams and want to pursue
Two other
writing,
avenues.
arts, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I think it became something that I wasn't planning to, and I'm not trying to hype it up, but it's like it could be a little bit bigger than what it is if I focus. I think focus more on doing more podcasts like this. Like I said, I'm an introvert, so I'm not really used to talking to people or whatever and getting the word out there. I think
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
once people actually pick up the book, then it's like okay, but it's like a lot of people want to meet the hustler selling the product instead of
Right.
Yeah.
just buying the product from the
Yeah.
hustler. So
Yeah, I can speak to that. I can speak to that just being in this space for some odd years, 2, 3 odd years now. Um, Talent goes to the wayside in the game. So you saying that if you did more networking things like podcasts and stuff like that, putting your face in front of people that may get your book out there, um, that's definitely a part of the game. That's
Yeah, it
definitely part of the
definitely is.
game.
It definitely is. I'm learning. I'm learning. It's like
Yeah. Especially in particular on the introvert part and trying to do more along the lines of marketing kind of things, because that kind of stuff, shit, that's people's whole jobs. So for it to
Mm-hmm.
be added on to your schedule of things to do on top of creating the product as well too, that's definitely it's a lot, especially for people who don't even like to be going out like that. And I
Right.
feel you in particular on that, especially. But you just got to keep doing it, and it's like Lee said, just being in the space of content creation. Now, I will say this: from the short time that I've done it, and a long time I've seen a lot of other people do it, and it just matches up perfectly with your journey as well. Once you start a lot of these things, as long as you're not too rigid on yourself, just go with it. Because it very rarely just goes according to plan 1, 2, 3, and now I'm where I'm at. Just
Mm-hmm.
roll with what is going. Like they were saying, hey, you're inspiring people, so apparently you do got the voice. And that's one of those things where I not feel you, especially in particular. That's a very good attribute to kind of not see yourself like that, because people who are hyper successful tend to have that kind of a trait. They don't ever see themselves as like all that, and if they do, or if they at least verbalize it, they are always trying to get further along. And so, don't be afraid. I'm saying, pat yourself on the back. You aspiring heads. It's something to keep you motivated, keep you pushing forward. Just a little extra fuel to the fire.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
man.
And I
I was,
wanted to know, again, actually, very briefly too, transitioning from, because you did a couple years before you were released from prison. So when you came back from that time period, I know that's a whole mindset shift in itself. Because like you just said, it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much go, go, go 24/7. So what was that transition like, coming from doing years in prison to transitioning back into society?
Um, definitely hard first few years. I think
Mm-hmm.
things come as like a culture shock. When I went in like 2007, so it was like phones were like just starting to be like touch and
yeah,
stuff like that. So when it came,
Mm-hmm.
I see.
you could do so much. You could do like everything with a phone. It was just mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I had to catch up and figure out how to basically work a phone again. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It was just like a few years back, it was totally different. Like stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like just catching up with technology because I'm like, I'm not. I'll be first to admit that writing a book made me a little bit better with using a computer, but I was never like computer savvy because it was like I never wanted to really have my face on the internet and stuff like that. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I'm really in the streets. I'm not trying to take pictures and stuff when my MySpace and Black Planet and all that stuff was going on. I was never computer savvy, so
right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
like catching up with technology, I was already behind because I wasn't using it beforehand. So it's
To
now
begin with, yeah.
to jump all the way up. I think that might have been the hardest thing is just catching back up with the progressing technology with the iPhones and stuff like that. It was
It
like,
moves so
Mm-hmm.
quickly.
yeah,
It
it
definitely
definitely
Yeah,
does.
is ever changing. It's always something new, something different coming out.
Right.
So it's like you got to stay with it. But other than that, I had like up and down probation officers. I might get a good one for about a year. Then the next 6 months, I got a new one. He's straight on bullshit.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Getting fired from jobs for bullshit just because I'm an introvert and you got to be able to communicate with your coworkers. And I don't want to talk to them because it's like, fuck them. I'm just here to get my check and
Money.
done. But
Yeah.
it's like, you got to be social because these are your coworkers. It was just bullshit, just
Yeah.
doing stuff I wasn't normally used to
I see.
doing, but just to get through probation and tolerate it and do stuff that I wasn't used to was better than being in prison. So it's like, suck it up, being a man, and do it. So yeah, but I'd say that and just like the technology, that was probably like the hardest stuff, like readjusting or whatever.
Let me ask you this, yo, because I know what it's like going away for a certain time, and like this just in general. And I'm sure there's other people out there that understand that as well too. But going away for a certain time and then coming back to something and like falling, and they're just that idea in the back of your mind of falling back into what you was doing before. For example, myself, I know Quinn knows as well too. When I first came back from school, so I pledged when I was up at school. You know what I'm saying? Pledged fraternity and everything. So when I first came in, when I was there and I was doing all that, like I went through a lot of changes, just like with myself and everything. You know what I'm saying? Just understanding a little bit more about myself and shit like that. And so when I first came back, like everything that I had, everything I went up there with, it was all gone. I lost my scholarship from running track, all that shit. So when I first came back, I was just kind of like looking for like the same shit that I was in when I first left. You know what I'm saying? And so I eventually, unfortunately, almost got caught up on some shit. You know what I'm saying? Me and a couple of my mans. And so after that, it was just kind of like, I was just like, damn, you know what? Like the shit that I'm doing right now and the shit that them niggas is doing is really not. And even though these are my like best friends, these niggas that I grew up with, like I can't be fucking with these niggas no more. And I know it had to be times in your life when you came back and was like yo, like we really don't, you know, we cool and everything, but I can't fuck with you like that no more, yo. Like I can't hang with you like that. Like you can't if you gonna be on that same shit. And how was that? How hard was that? Because I know for me personally, that shit is hard. Cause you start to feel like damn, like I want to hit so and so up, but I know so and so on this type of bullshit. I can't even be around yo.
Um, I ain't gonna lie, I still hang with some of the homies I've been known forever, whatever. It's just like you gotta know what people to deal with and you know, deal with them on that level. If this my homie, like I love smoking weed. If this my homie, all we ever did was smoke weed, then we gonna continue to smoke weed. I don't care if he's in currently or whatever. If it ain't about smoking weed, I'm not pulling up to do none of that shit because all we ever did was smoke weed. It's like I keep the homies or whatever and certain people in their categories and what they've been to me since before the book or whatever. Like I ain't changed up, but like I said, I've always been an introvert. So it's like it could be like 10 people on the block over here. I'm gonna be the nigga standing off by myself. And it's not that I got a problem with them 10 right there. It's just like I know if I'm off here by myself, it's less likely the police gonna fuck with me than a crowd of 10 niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I could do my thing and be out the way while they can have their little dice game or do whatever they doing over there.
Yeah.
Like that's just how I always think. Like I know how to position the people I'm around because like not trying to say I'm big and bad or whatever, but I was the big homie. I was the OG. Like I didn't ask nobody to do nothing. Like I was the nigga did you know what I'm saying? Did what I wanted to do. Like I didn't have to get permission, whatever. So I
You need to
always know
check
how
in
to
on that.
position people that's around me, and it's like even to this day, it's like I know how to like okay, this person don't serve me no good, so I'm gonna just stay away from him. I don't have to give him no excuse. I don't have to play him to the left. I just don't have to be around him, and that's just what it is. It ain't gotta be no beef. I don't have to give him the explanation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the level I've got with people I deal with on a regular basis or as associates. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Not
how I
that you
deal with.
should. Do you ever feel any guilt like damn I could really be helping yo out, but I gotta be over here. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever feel that type of guilt, or like especially if niggas go away on some shit like how you went away?
I mean, I definitely send money orders and love to the homies behind the bars because I know a lot of my homies is falsely incarcerated behind some bullshit. A lot of them have done lots of years and they sentence should be as high as it is because of these fucked up laws. But I think most people that I dealt with have been in prison. So it's like
That
we like
mindset is there for
we
everybody.
huh?
That mindset is there with everybody. That same
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
mindset.
It's like I do try to like I said, like I was the big homie. Like I do try to steer people away. I do try to tell the youngins do something different. Like you don't have to go write a book, but you don't have to try to be the biggest kingpin in the world either. Like okay, go ahead get you your 20,000, and you like to cut grass or do lawn. Okay, start a landscaping business with your 20,000. Like you don't have to be out here forever. Like I try to encourage people and not just say go get a job or do something different. Well, it's like you can tell them all day to do that, but if you don't give them an option of what else to do besides that, they're gonna just keep doing it. If I say, okay, you good at landscaping, you like to cut grass, you was doing everybody yard before you jumped off the porch, get you some equipment, some business cards, and you got a landscaping. You start your LLC, boom. Hey, so I do try to influence youngins on how to do different stuff, how to the ones that want to do rap, like make sure, okay, what's up with your ASCAP? What's up with your BMI? Like, if you just doing it to do it, like that's you know what I'm saying, you want to do it to make some money, or you just doing it to do it. Like a lot of motherfuckers are do videos and have endless songs on YouTube and not be making $1 and wonder when the money's gonna come. It's like you don't even have your paperwork together. Like you gotta get your paperwork together so you can make some money, you know what I'm saying, instead of just doing endless videos and thinking somebody's gonna come knock on your door to sign. Like so I do try to give them advice and not just give them advice, give them what to do advice. Like here's what you can do with your money, or here's the route you can take. Because, like I said, I always liked to. When I was in jail, I wasn't just reading novels. I was reading law books. I was reading business magazines, stuff like that. So I always try to expand my mind and know stuff about business and try to pass on stuff like stocks and credit and stuff to the homies that don't know nothing about it, wouldn't know nothing about it unless I told them about it. So yeah, I do try to do stuff like that.
Just to speak on the process when it came to when you were released and everything like that, and just being on parole. For a lot of people who don't know, 9 times out of 10 people are assigned with a PO or a parole officer. Just to give another personal experience of mine, I feel like it was hard for me to understand how important it was to be patient and understand like the people that's assigned to you, bro, like they don't want to see you get better. They don't want to see you, you know what I'm saying, functioning like a regular citizen. They don't want to see you actually progressing and changing in life. So I just want to know, like, for you with prison, like how did that go about? Like what did you learn when it comes to dealing with the POs? Because even when you know the shit's fucked up, you know, it ain't like you could talk to nobody. And even if you talk to somebody, they gonna think you lying. You know what I'm saying? They gonna take the PO side, not your side. So I just wanna know like how was that for you, like that whole learning process?
That shit like a flip of the coin. Like you never know if you gonna get an asshole or somebody cool that just wants you to check in. Like and it really
It's a
is. And
game,
it's
bro.
crazy that the system is playing with people's lives like that. Like for one slip up, they can send you back to prison away from your family for some bullshit. Like some regular Joe Blow should not have that much power over anybody's
Not
life.
at all.
We all make mistakes. We all are human. Like, okay, I forgot to call this week. Don't violate because I didn't call, but I didn't call the other 10 weeks ahead of time.
And is that simple?
Like
That's
it's just
like
like
little stuff.
the system's supposed to make you get better and help you, but it's like it's trying to push you back when you're trying to move forward. Like it'd be crazy like that. Like it'd be mind blowing. And I think sometimes people who don't go through the system actually go through it, don't really understand it. Like they just do what you're told, or just
it's not that
do
easy.
what they
It's not
ask.
that
It's
easy.
like they be really launching. Like they really be on some bullshit. It'd be like I'm trying to do. I wouldn't show up at all if I wasn't trying. Like I'm here. I'm trying. I got a bullshit job. I'm here. I pay my probation fees. I'm trying. Like, you know what I'm saying? What else you want me to do? And they still be trying to violate you. And that's crazy how the system goes. Like, that's a
realize
for you. Like, it's everywhere though. And that's what needs to change. Like, you know what I'm saying? When people come out, okay, all you want me to do is pee in a cup, pay my probation fees, and send me on my way for the next 30 days or whatever. Like, where's the job opportunities? Where's the training? Where's the actual help? Where's the people that got PTSD for that come home from prison that seen somebody stand their whole guts pulled out? Like, where's that at? Nah, they just looking for a check in the system. Crazy. I don't want to be a spokesperson for it. I'm just trying to sell books. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be Martin or Malcolm of the movement, but that's real. Like, the system's wild. Like,
that's
crazy how like, yeah, they put
the fact
majority of us in the system. It's just black people. Black people
say like the system is supposed to like rehabilitate people. You know, like it's a scam. You know, just like you said, like just the little things. Like you could tell your PO, like, I understand, like I might gotta pay my fee, like let's just say like that Thursday, but the bullshit job that I'm working at, I don't get that deposit till that Friday or that cash check that Friday. They're not trying to hear that, bro. They're not trying to hear that. They're not trying to hear that.
They're not trying to hear that
at all. Like, and it could be just like you said, small stuff. You could show up late. You was late maybe 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But they still gonna get that report that your ass wasn't on time and want to just put you in for some bullshit. And it's like, damn, like I can't even be a regular citizen and deal with traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's small shit, you know, that people don't understand. Like, so definitely like Moe Foe said, like just stay away from the system like altogether, man. Like I just pray, like I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. And we want to go ahead and close this out on a definitely slightly lighter note for sure.
Oh yeah. No question.
Like we got two scenarios here for you, and really for everybody. So, first one is just really a question just to see how thought process. You know, when something of desire is really thrown into the situation, how thought processes change. So this is not my own personal scenario. I got this from elsewhere. I just want to bring this here. So there's an island. On this island, there is a group of people, indigenous people. They don't speak English and they don't fuck with nobody. They don't like visitors of any kind. They're not for any conversation. You pull up on the island, you're getting killed. They don't talk, nothing like that. You're the president now. In this scenario, you're the president of the U.S. Hey, Mr. President, you want us to send the goon squad over there? You want us to handle that? Your answer.
You asking me?
I'm asking everybody. Mr. President, that's everybody. There's an island of
people. You asking if I want?
They don't want to trade. They killing everybody, but they won't leave the island.
They're asking me if I want to kill an island of niggas.
I didn't know you was gonna ask that question. That's crazy. That's literally what you asked. You gonna ask if you gonna kill an island full of niggas. That's what you asked.
Well,
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and leave him.
Am I white?
Particular, but yeah. Well, no, you're yourself. So I mean, unless you're white now.
If I was white, fuck them niggas. Nah, I'm just playing. Be okay.
So what you want to do? We leave them be? Or
me personally, I'm gonna leave them alone, man. I'm not gonna eviscerate an island full of.
What about y'all too? Moe Foe, Juan, what y'all think? Leave them alone. I might.
I don't know. I might section them niggas off, man. Put like some fucking floaty cones around the island or some shit, like danger zone or some shit. Like, just leave them niggas alone, man. They on some different type of timing, man. Yeah, I ain't just gonna offer them, but you know,
I'll probably check their temperature and then leave them alone. Like,
just leave them alone.
See what they about.
I ain't fucking with them. I'm gonna leave them alone.
All right. And then here's the second part to it, right? Mr. President, we just found out there's a flower in the center of this island that cures cancer.
You gotta get through them niggas to get it.
But they not for no conversation. You pull up, they're cutting your head off. What you want to do, Mr. President? You still want to leave them alone?
And they're primitive, right? They're primitive people.
Yeah. Spears and bows.
I'm sending Super SEAL Team 7. I'm sending Super SEAL Team 7 to the island. They're gonna infiltrate. They're gonna infiltrate Get that up out of there. We you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. We you know what I'm saying?
Sending the people in for that one. Okay.
I'm sending the spec op. You know what I'm saying? The spec op.
No
We gonna handle
bullshit.
that.
I might go ahead and offer all my niggas from childhood like a meal apiece. Go handle that shit. Go get that flour, bro.
Nigga,
Them
you
niggas
president.
they wiping
Nigga,
them
you
niggas out,
president.
bro. I'm telling you, bro. They wiping them niggas out, bro. I don't care about no spears and
Oh
shit.
man, he said, "All right, so that's 2. We moving on them for this flower now. We got to keep
Flour,
it.
yeah.
President Moe Foe, what you think? Should we go in there?
I already said I was gonna check their temperature.
Yeah.
I was basically asked them, is the plant here? And if they would have bluffed me out, I was already gonna blow them up. So now that I know that the plant's here, I got secret information because I'm the president. I know the plant's here. Wipe them out because they lied to me. They had
They lied. Yeah, okay.
And they didn't tell me the truth. And I'm the president. You didn't have to lie. I was going to show mercy. But you lied to me, so now I can't trust you. Wipe them out.
Hey, that's 3. Oh, man. You rolling, Jamie?
Hey, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Yeah, they definitely gonna get the K. They definitely getting that AK. I'm spraying, yo. Like, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, no, for real. And just like you said, if I would have pulled up, like, hey man, like everything good over here. They ain't like, oh yeah, everything's straight. Like they got this whole flower in the circles. Like they surrounded by it. They ain't gonna tell me about it. I'm the president. Like nigga, that's technically mine. Like the fuck you say, yeah. Like
I'm not asking.
I'm gonna have to double back.
Nah,
yeah, right. Yeah,
this nigga Juan offering his niggas a couple Hellcats and some Newports. Couple Hellcats and some Newports.
Hellcats and Newports, yo. Get the fuck out of here, yo.
SRT. Go ahead.
Hey, man. It was a great episode today, man. Definitely want to thank you for coming through, Mr. Moe Foe.
We appreciate you for coming, man. We really do.
Yes, sir, man. You got anything you want to plug before you get out of here? Any upcoming events?
Books,
anything?
Yeah, my book. It's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Zebra, Z-BRUH.
Yes, sir.
The book's at the bottom. You know, it's 5-star book. Check it out. Support Black authors. I'm self-published. I'm independent, so I don't have no big book company backing me. It's all coming out of pocket. So, you know, support Black business. And yeah, that's about it. I'd like to thank y'all for having me. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time once again. And there you go, people. Another successful episode in the books. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the Inside Wolves podcast. And on that, we are out.
For more Inside Wolf content, make sure to subscribe and make sure to hit that link tree in our bio to bring you to all our platforms. Let's get it.